You see my Buncee ambassadors?
Yes.
Yay, it worked. Okay, so here we go. Welcome, everybody. If you're just joining in, it's good to see you joining in the chat and all the names popping in and to connect with everybody, especially in the last week for everybody who joined in with Buncee Malaysia Week was awesome. So we'll be talking about that. Just a couple of reminders. If you are not already in our Slack community, let us know and we can get you signed up into that, because there is a lot of conversation that happens every single day. People are sharing the Buncees that they're creating, the ideas that they have, even just to talk about what is happening with your schools and school districts and the plans that are being made and what that's starting to look like. I know for me in our school, we actually have a meeting tomorrow morning with the PD committee. And we're starting with, at least at the high school level, hybrid, and students will come basically 2 out of the 5 days. Teachers will be there 4 out of the 5. And so that may change, but I always like to hear what it's looking like for other teachers, and then finding out, how we can kind of plan for all of that. So Slack community is great for that. We do have our ambassador website where you can see where the other ambassadors are from, the different activities that are happening, lots of the initiatives, professional development materials. If you're looking for some videos, tutorials, blogs, you name it, you can find it there. And then, of course, when we send out the ambassador newsletter, and also checking out on Twitter, following Buncee and looking at what everybody is sharing there. So many ways to connect. And if you want to save the date for the next call, that would be August 31st. And the time may be the same time, but of course we will let you know well enough in advance. So what's new? Well, last week, if anybody joined in, and I know a lot of the people that are in here did, and people who are joining us were also presenting, and it went from Monday through Saturday. I was amazed at just the number of people joining in from all of the different countries and making those connections, plus the excitement that they had for creating with Buncee and the ideas that were shared. And so I didn't miss any of them. For us, well, for me here East Coast, it was 8 a.m. But all of the videos are available. There's a link that you can check every single presentation out. And I definitely recommend that you do that. But just to take a quick glimpse, here are the ambassadors that presented during Buncee Malaysia Week. So if you're looking, especially talking about like librarians, or if you're looking at remote learning or global collaboration, I know just on Saturday, that presentation was really good, just to see the people connecting and sharing how they've made connections for their students, especially during this time where we're staying at home and teaching from home, working from home. It's so important to have those social interactions with our students and with ourselves. And so that definitely for me was something that helped me to kind of focus for the beginning of this year when I'm facing, like many of us, so many unknowns. So thanks to everybody that joined in and presented, and it was nice to have conversations in the chat. So again, you can go back and check out the videos on YouTube. And I didn't know what to expect. I know I did the presentation with Ida on Monday morning, and I talked for a really long time, and I wish Ida would have said, Rochelle, we've been talking for 3 hours. It wasn't quite that long, but I really didn't know what to expect. I'd heard about it, but then joining in and then thinking forward to our event next week, I got really excited about it just by the number of people that joined in from so many different places. And so that's what we're going to talk about, is the creative beginnings. If you haven't signed up for it yet, please do. There are more than 30 presenters, and we have a lot of different sessions and things happening. It does start on next Monday, August 3rd. The short URL to share, if you want to memorize it, was easy to do. It's bit.ly and then Buncee and then capital C, capital B for Creative Beginnings. So I love when it's easy to do that, to share. But here are some of the things that are going to be happening. So before that, coming up, let's see, today, Wednesday, I just want to make sure I have the right day, we have our chat. And if you look at all of the people joining in with moderators and panelists, so wherever you are, find your right time. So 9 a.m. for us, for me here on the East Coast. But thanks to the moderators and panelists for the Global Buncee chat. And I'm looking forward to this conversation too, just to get some new ideas of how to create that community and engage students. I know that was an area that I was really kind of struggling with, especially at the end, always at the end of the school year, but in particular this school year as well. Now, the schedule for next week, and Ida, please stop me if there's anything that I miss or that I should add in, but a quick glimpse, it kicks off on Monday afternoon. We have a keynote panel, and so I'll be moderating a discussion. We have 4 panelists, and so we'll be talking about the power of community. How do we foster that? How do we build that and support students and families? And then also student engagement, and that will kick off our Creative Beginnings event. And then we have 2 sessions that day. Each day there are different sessions, and you can sign up for each one of them. So make sure that you share all of these, or if there's one in particular that you know somebody in your school would benefit from, like if it's a tech coach or if people are looking for ideas for elementary, of course, these would be great to share with them. So that will be Monday. Tuesday, lots of different opportunities as well. What I like about this too is it gives educators, like our ambassadors, a chance to work together to create these presentations. And so here are the ones that you can choose from for Tuesday. So 4 options, and Ida, these will be recorded, right?
Yes, these will definitely be recorded, and it'll be hosted on YouTube.
Right, and it's pretty neat how, because with StreamYard, if anybody has used it, how it's set up and you can stream it out through to YouTube. So you can join in the session or catch up later on the recording, engage in the chat, because I found there was just so much being shared in those chats last week with Fancy Malaysia Week. So there is Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, rounds out with 4 more sessions. And of course, so the librarians of the group, we have Fancy in the Library, Back to School with Social Emotional Learning, and Tech Gadget. And I love the You've Got Tech in My Lessons. So really great opportunities with these different areas of focus, and definitely something there for everybody. Hopefully everybody can join in and invite some of your educator friends, members of your PLN, to join in as well. Ida, anything else to add about the event? I can't believe it's next week already, because it feels like we were just starting to talk about it.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I didn't want to interrupt you earlier with the Malaysia. First of all,
That's okay.
I just wanted to, before going back to the Creative Beginnings here, just really share my appreciation to everyone for tuning in. It was our first, international sort of event, if you will. So honestly, really appreciative of you all tuning in. But 2, I'm really thankful for everyone who also presented. The unique thing about that sort of event, if you will, was that it was actually the group in Malaysia had reached out to us because they were looking for new ideas and strategies, because obviously remote learning has been a sort of a challenge for all of us, really. But I'm really appreciative to everyone who presented. I know, Maria, you're here in the call too. Thank you so much, really, because the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. I think at this point, we've really come to see that as in order for us to really be able to improve our practices, it's really amazing to be able to just hear from other people that are also in the same, sort of boat as you. So it's been a really awesome event, and I can't thank everyone enough for it. But in terms of the Creative Beginning, so I'm really excited for next week's sessions. It's also our first. So I'm really excited to kick that off with everyone. But in any case, as you guys have started to see the schedule itself, it builds off of our last ambassador call, but what you'll notice, and I'll just reiterate it, but the sort of themes for all of these different sessions is the fact that as we move into this remote learning environment, we realize that everything is more so now than ever about our students in terms of the engagement that we need to give them, and the fact that we need to be able to give them that agency and independence as learners, because in a remote setting, at least, us as educators, we're not able to, like I always say, hold our students' hands as much as we used to be able to, or guide them through some of their struggles. And so a lot of the sessions that you'll notice as you scroll through it is really focused on ideas of how we can engage students in a remote capacity, but at the same time also sort of build that community around our kids, so that we could come up with different resolutions where we're able to think of ways to support them as an entire school community and system. So those are the different underlying themes of each of the different sessions. And so as you tune in, you'll get a little bit of a hint about, the back to school sort of strategies across each of the different subject areas. But at the same time, our presenters, a lot of which are in this room right now, are also going to be able to share just different ideas of how you can build that connection as an educator or an administrator to be able to support your students. So we're definitely looking forward to the conversation, and we hope you guys are too, honestly, but it'll be really exciting, and I'll look forward to seeing everyone there. So yeah, so back to you, Rochelle.
All right. And yeah, it just I just thinking about all the work, I can't even say it, thinking about all the work that went into planning and organizing all of that. And then for next week too, it is a huge effort, but it was so well received. And just to see those connections, like I said, on Twitter, but also in the Facebook group, with the educators, like the group from Malaysia has been connecting and sharing. And I even a little while ago had a message come to me on Facebook that somebody created a Buncee to share with me. And so it's so exciting to see people so excited about it, especially with the potential for how to use this for heading back to school the number one question is, how do you build relationships when you're not in the same physical space? Mm-hmm. And I always think well, let me tell you about Buncee, is it a replacement? No, everybody wants to be in their classrooms, but if we can't, can we use the tools to build those relationships? And so I'm excited for the event next week to give more educators an opportunity to see what the potential is with this for us to help students, parents, for everybody to use it. And of course, just globally, it's amazing how many people are involved in this and how far the reach is now. India, Malaysia, the Middle East, and the Middle East is coming up, I think, August 26th. Is that right?
Well, actually, we had a date swap, so I'll update here. Because actually, Samantha, you're in the room, so it'll be awesome to have you share. But a big sort of common thread that we have come across as a group here is that there's a lot of more need for localization, and it's almost in part in the sense that as we have all of these different sessions, it's amazing for us as educators to be able to learn and share with one another. But there's a little bit of a misconception in some respects where we almost think, other educators can participate in the English language, and it's not really always the case. And so I have to say, first of all, I'm not sure if Aman's here because of the time zone differences, but several of our ambassadors had just reached out with the fact that, they want to be able to share, new ideas, strategies to be able to support their local community, but, in that sort of respect, you can't participate in English. And in that regard, Iman had actually asked if she could help to spearhead along with Dia, who's one of our other ambassadors in the community, to be able to, host different sessions in Arabic to be able to support other educators that are looking to do the same. And Sumedha, I know you're in the room here, but similarly said now with India, and I know that Rachel, we've started discussing a little bit about, maybe concepts around Scotland, but in this respect, I'm really appreciative of everyone sort of taking the lead or coming up with the idea about how we need to think about, the future of education, not just in an English context, but also in the local, sort of needs, right? Because US context is also different from Malaysia context, which is also different from India context, although there are similar threads. So with that, we have some of our community members actually starting to share different sort of ideas or community days where they'll be able to share their different best practices, so that'll be more supportive, especially on a local context. And with that, Sumedha, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I know that we started the conversation here, but in terms of the Middle East, we're looking at that date as August 20th. And then Sumedha, we're looking at a 3-day period, but if you want to share a little bit, especially in your context in India, Sumedha, I'd love to give you the floor.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Sumedha Soti from India. I'm very excited to join you all, although it was 3 a.m. in India, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity to meet all the Buncee ambassadors and hear their ideas about it, because my students have simply started loving Buncee. I teach high school students social sciences in India, and they are too excited, and every day before I wake up in the morning, they are ready with their new Buncee assignment, and they are very active on Twitter since they are all high school students. They are appreciating, and this is how we connected with Ida, and we requested her if we can have one session on Buncee in India and celebrate India Week, similar to the Malaysia Week or Community Day in India where all the educators can share up their experiences of having a platform like Bansi in their own regional languages that we have in India. So that way we have a wider community to connect, because in India also educators are looking for such platforms where we can connect and foster student agency in the virtual environment. So similar to your countries, we are also doing the virtual studies in India, and every day we are connecting with the students through different LMS platforms like Microsoft Teams, and making learning happen for our students to give them interactive experience. And that is how Bansi is the tool which I really look upon to share my assignments and make my learning interactive with the students. And that is how I want to give this proposal to everyone. It will be really great if you help us organize this week in India, where all the Indian educators will be sharing their experiences with Bansi and what students are doing here in India, so that we can reach wider community of educators in India, and they can also come up on board with us and start using Bansi as a digital platform to connect with students. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you.
I'm just going to jump in here. Hi, everybody. It's Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Smeda, I wanted to, welcome you, tell you that you're getting a lot of love in the chat right now because everyone is so impressed that you are here at 3 a.m. But I also wanted to mention to you, and I'm sure that Ida has and Rochelle has, but this community in particular is a remarkable community. And so they're wonderful in so many ways, but one way in particular that you may really enjoy also is the global collaboration. So you and your colleagues, through meeting this community, I will say all of you have, I've been hearing from others how much love they feel about you and from you, the broader Bansi family. But anyway, Sumedha, I just wanted to jump in and say, just remember this whole community here now. As your school year progresses, you may want to reach out to some of them and do some projects.
Yeah, sure, ma'am, definitely. We will be very happy to collaborate with you. And we are already a Microsoft Showcase school. The school where I work, we are Microsoft Showcase, and we are already doing the collaborative projects as part of British Council ISA. So in the past, we have collaborated with schools in Germany, in Cologne, and we have participated with schools in Finland, schools in America, and last week only we have also got this award for ISA by British Council for our school. It was announced last week. So we are the recipient of International School Award for last 10 years. So
wow.
It's an international school. So I'm very happy to collaborate with all the global collaborators, and we are working very hard in our school to implement the SDG goals. So our lessons, our activities are all connected with sustainable development goals. Our students, they are all well versed. And this year only, I was heading a project called Global Citizenship Education. And I have completed 100 activities with my students related to different SDG goals, and 100 community, all student-led projects I have completed with my students. So it will be a great platform to collaborate.
That's absolutely wonderful. I'm not going to totally co-opt the whole presentation today. I just wanted to jump in and say hello, welcome, and you win the latest person attending award. Okay, I'm signing out. Back to you guys.
Actually, on that just note, Rachel, I know that when we had spoken, you were interested on a similar capacity as Sumedha here with a global collaboration. So I think there's an opportunity for both of you also to be able to connect.
Definitely. I'm not, and I was just sending a message actually. I didn't know whether you'd signed up for the UN's. I'm trying to find the details of it. They do an SDGs challenge. Yesterday, I was signed up as the Scotland ambassador for the UN for that. So she says about starting a project small. It sort of snowballed slightly. So, yes, watch this space. I'm going to get something up and running, and then I'll sort of, at the moment, I've got about 90 schools globally that want to get involved, which I was expecting one. So it's, as I say, it has sort of got a bit out of hand at the moment. So I'm going to try and set that up. But obviously, Buncie's an ideal sort of platform for that. So I'll get some more information about that, but the closing date for that has been extended to the 15th of August. So if you wanted to do something as a school, with the UN in particular, I'll put some details down so people can do that.
Well, Rachel, I just want you to know I'm delighted to meet you. I am the other Scott in the room at the moment. And all I know is based on your Bunsies, I'm sorry, Rochelle, but I want to eat it at Rachel's house. Saying.
You wouldn't say that today. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know what I'm eating today.
The next time I'm across the pond, we'll have to try to find a way to meet up.
Definitely, definitely.
Can I come too? Because I'm sure the food is way better.
Well, I will admit we have not been known for our culinary talents in the past, but it has gotten much better.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sorry, back to you guys. Nice to meet you, Rachel.
And you.
no.
Yeah. Rochelle, if you want to continue, I don't know if there was anything else. I just want to
No.
everyone's time.
Oh yeah, no, the only other thing was that was in that before having Kathleen share was just a reminder for Ideas Lab. And if you have any ideas, just send them to Gabby and that's it. So we'll have Kathleen share.
All right, Kathleen. So Kathleen, before she tunes in here, Kathleen is one of our ambassadors who's based in New York, so she'll share more in detail about her background. But in any case, she's going to share a few different ideas that she's been implementing, especially with respect to some thoughts about what the back to school could look like. And with that, Kathleen, I don't know if you can see the share screen button or but you have the floor.
Okay, great. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I'm really honored to be joining the team. I'm, so impressed with what everyone's doing. It's just so exciting. So I am a third grade teacher in Farmingdale. I previously taught kindergarten and also sixth grade. So this is my 19th year of teaching, and I've been using Buncee for the past few years, and I find it to be such an engaging platform for my third graders. I'm really excited for the possibilities. So I'll share a couple of things that I've been working on. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. Working on it.
It's loading.
It's loading. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I click here, can you guys see my screen?
I can see Ida.
I can see me.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay.
It works.
It's worked?
Yep.
You're good.
I'm good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So one of the things I've been working on is thinking about, relationships. And I'm also a member of the Two Writing Teachers blog team. And so next week we have a blog series coming out that has to do with writing to establish community. So my post is going to talk a lot about poetry. So I was using Buncee as a platform to help me to create these poems. And, kids might have just done this on paper in the classroom, or they might have used digital means. But now with remote learning as a big possibility, this is just a very simple example of a bio poem, which is a formulaic type poem. But with Buncee, you can add in some great elements, to bring your poem to life. So I love that. And then another more sophisticated type of way to use poetry with Buncee would be to do a self-portrait song. So you could talk to the students, possibly older students, about how music and songs are so connected to poetry, and you could ask students to find a song that really resonates with them and think about why. And I feel like the multimedia way that Buncee is laid out allows you to put the lyrics, you can incorporate the video, you could have your audio version reflecting. Here I just wrote my reflection out, but I feel like there's lots of possibilities, and this would be really great for students to be able to kind of reveal a little bit more about themselves. And then something that I did last year was affirmations with Buncee. So for my third graders, I wanted them to, to feel positive. There was such a hard time. So I created a whole set of affirmations through Buncee so that every day in our morning meeting, we would, talk about one of these affirmations. And I think I had my morning meeting folder open here also just to say that I use Buncee to create screencasts every day, starting in late March, and we went through mid-June. But you can see all my different morning meetings here, and it was such a great platform for me to just share all the different things that were happening each day in like a fun, creative way for the kids. We also did virtual field trips, and I connected them all through Buncee. So the Paris one was my favorite. I thought it was so beautiful with the background, but I was able to, make all the different links, and this way the kids could use this as their landing page to go off on their virtual field trip. One more thing to share is this summer I've been working to read more books that my students would be reading, and also to really just be thinking about a diversity of text and making sure that everyone is seen and represented. So I've been trying to use the hashtag that is already established out there, Classroom Book a Day. And this allows me to link to the author, kind of put my reflections in. And of course, there's much more I could do with it, but this is sort of one project I've been working on this summer. So that's some of the things I've been working on. There's much more to do and to share, but that's sort of what I thought I could share with you guys today.
One thing I just wanted to jump in on, that Eiffel Tower, I think you probably got from within the Buncee platform.
I did, yeah.
And I'm not sure that all of you know, we have what is called Buncee Photo Friends. And folks, just tossing it out there, folks send us photos. Everybody signs a release from all over the world. And so when you're searching, when your kids are searching, Ida has traveled rather extensively. So we have quite a few Scotland, but I will admit more like Edinburgh, Fife, that area. So when you're searching, remember to take a look within the Buncee platform, because the kids, the students will often be able to find something right there, which at least is for use. So there's no issues with it.
Great, thank you.
Back to you, Miss Ida.
Yeah, no, first of all, honestly, thank you, Kathleen. That was amazing because one, have you considered contributing to Ideas Lab? Because those are awesome ideas.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, the music one is fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I will.
Yeah. No, those are amazing. Thank you for sharing it. And with that, let me pass it back to you, Rochelle.
No, that's it. It was good to hear from people today, besides just Ida and myself talking about things, but just to see what's going on out there and get some new ideas. And I love, Marie, the reminder about looking at the pictures. It's so awesome every day when I go to create a Buncee and I see these new backgrounds, and the ones that are, I think the one that I had in there was, I don't know who took it at the beach, but I can't be at the beach, but I'm at least able to look at these beautiful pictures that people are sharing. And I think, was it Amy Storr that had sent some from Texas, I think a while ago? Yeah, I love that, because a lot of times my students want to get real pictures from different places like the Eiffel Tower or Scotland or Iceland. And I can say, well, Ida was just in Iceland, and look at those real pictures that she has taken. So it's good to have those. But no, I don't have anything else other than just a reminder for the chat on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, or of course, wherever you're joining in from. I did drop the link to the presentation that I was using for this call into the chat if you wanted to see any of the graphics or the dates or anything without having to go to the Creative Beginnings site. Also that bit.ly Buncee, capital C, capital B. And I think that's it. Otherwise, aside from the chat Wednesday, we'll see everybody next week it's going to be awesome. So many things happening.
Yes. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in, especially at 3 a.m. And at 10 at night out in Scotland here. Yeah, it's been amazing to see you guys. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to next week. And for those that presented and also tuned into our first ever Malaysia week last week, thank you again. And so, yeah, happy rest of day to everybody. Thanks again for your time.
Or get some sleep.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.